Hello everybody, welcome to Fun Freaking Reviews, where I review a bunch of shit and get my point across, or my message. Some dog is barking and wants to come in. But anyways, this is going to be a quickie. Let's talk about Sausage Party. Alright, so I went to go see this the night it came out. And it wasn't really what I was expecting. It was on par with the rest of Seth Rogen's films. This is the end. Pineapple Express. All, same shit. Just imagine it animated. Bam, you got yourself Pineapple Express. You got yourself Sausage Party. Just those kind of things, Weed jokes, sex jokes, offensive shit that, if you're easily offended, I wouldn't recommend going to see this movie. I, for one, am not that easily offended, but I don't have that many good things to say about this movie. I am a fan of Seth Rogen. It's kind of like a guilty pleasure. I'll watch This Is the End. I'll laugh. It makes me laugh. It makes me happy. It's a good movie for me. Not the best, but it's entertaining. So, movies that you want to be entertained by, yeah, go watch some Seth Rogen films. The infamous orgy scene where, just a bunch of food having sex with each other. And I think that's what really hit the nail in the coffin for me, because there was a rape joke, 2 rape jokes previous to that, and to my knowledge, I've never seen Seth Rogen pull a joke like that, and honestly, it kind of, deflated me, because I'm not that easily offended, but those jokes are rather distasteful. So yeah, there's 2 rape jokes, or this kind of scenes that are kind of odd to look at, and some people laughed, in the theater. I don't know why. I just kind of sat there like, what? Are they really pulling this off right now? What are they doing? Because it was the spoiler for fucking watching this review. Just know you have to watch the movie first. So it was the douche character. He finds this grape juice box, pretty sure it's grape juice, just writhing on the floor, and he's leaking out of the bottom part of the pack of the little box, and looks suggestive to everybody. I laughed a little because it's like, LOL, he's bleeding from his freaking crotch, and the douche character proceeds to drink out of that hole. And it would have been, I guess, not totally fine, but a little bit less weird if he didn't. Some of the lines he said while doing this was like go ahead, people won't believe you, which is it was a direct stab. If they weren't, you think they weren't meaning to do a rape joke? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were fully aware of what they were animating and what they were doing in the script. I read a little bit of the script when it first came out, so I was kind of mentally prepared for some of the things, especially the orgy scene. I went in, kind of, jokingly, I say to a couple of friends that came with me, I can't wait for the orgy scene, that's the only thing I came here for. And the scene comes up. It's around the end of the movie where all the food are celebrating because they managed to slaughter everybody in the store. And at first it's like, okay, lol, haha, funny, they're having sex. And you don't really see that much. It's just kind of like those scenes where you kind of see a couple of movement, but it doesn't show graphically what's going on. And then things get worse from there. There's the hot dog and the bun finally have sex. They finally become one because their whole deal was that they wanted to get bought together at the same time so they could basically fuck each other. And that's just the whole deal with the hot dogs and the buns. And like they finally fuck and they have this little, I don't know what the fuck it is. It's like a burrito thing, a chimichanga. I never really understood what it was. It was like Iraqi or someone from the Middle Eastern part. Some food there that I don't know what it is, and I probably sound ignorant as fuck. But that's what it was. And a bagel that was portrayed as a white guy. And they're basically gay. And they fuck with the hot dog and the bun. And there's also a lesbian taco, which was funny to me because, you know, of course the taco is a lesbian. It's a Mexican lesbian, to say. And this is very traumatizing because you know there's nothing there. There's no penis and no vagina there. There's nothing there. But they're just going at it. And you just can't. I was sitting there in shock because it went on for too long. I was prepared for the scene to go on for quite a while, but I was not prepared for it to go this long. It probably wasn't that long, but it felt like an eternity for me. It felt like it took up the whole movie for me. Everything else out of my mind. I don't even remember most of the plot because this orgy scene stuck out to me completely. And like the story is kind of lacking, I guess, because it's just this hot dog trying to prove to everybody that you know, because they believe in this great beyond bullshit, that once they get taken by the humans, they're gonna take them to like heaven or some bullshit. So they're kind of heaven. It's very like it portrays religion in a bad sort of light, and you know, they're saying that he was trying to disprove that the great beyond exists, but it exists, but not the way that they think it is. He tries to prove it to them. They don't believe him. This other little wiener that got bought earlier comes back to save his Frank, the wiener, and they basically kill all the humans. And I was like, all right, that's cool, I guess. But the movie pretty much depends on just food saying fuck. Like every fifth word out of their mouth is the word fuck, and like, haha, food saying the word fuck. It's hilarious, I guess. It wasn't that funny to me. People laughed in the theater every time a food item would say fuck, and I'd be like, why is this funny? It's freaking wiener saying fuck, you know. It's like somebody animates a dog saying fuck. Why is that funny? Because it's a cuss word. I don't know, there's probably some psychological bullshit to that, but I didn't find it funny. My favorite thing about Seth Rogen films are the weed jokes, because I don't know, I'm fucking 12 years old and I laugh at that shit every time. Like in Neighbors, every goddamn weed joke got me. I was on the floor laughing. And like the weed jokes in here kind of felt forced. Like they knew that a bunch of 12-year-olds, just the white fuck boys with their snapbacks and their cargo shorts, we're gonna go see this movie, and they knew that they were gonna go see this movie, so they decided to dumb down all the jokes to the flat zero, just dumb them down. The only weed jokes they have is where the 3 non-perishables. A Twinkie is a perishable, by the way. That thing can go bad, but because once it's out of the package, it's gonna freaking spoil. So that freaking Twinkie fuck is out of the package, is gonna spoil. It's not a non-perishable. So yeah, they have the 3 non-perishables. They get high. They do their own little hot box bullshit, but they do that whole the stoner voice, and it's not funny to me. Like, I felt like I was watching like some sort of like Gmod thing that a 10-year-old made on their shitty laptop. That's what it felt like I was watching. I felt like I was watching a really shitty YouTube video that went on for an hour and a half. Who knows? And so yeah, the jokes fell flat for me. The stereotypes in the food, they weren't offensive to me. I get it, because that's what we basically do. We go to the store, we see some Mexican food, and it's in a Mexican themed box. You see some Indian food, it's an Indian themed box. It makes sense to me, because that's what the fuck we do. That's fucking reality. And look at me saying fuck every 5 words too, because that's just how I am. I don't know how to continue a sentence without saying the word fuck. But anyways, yeah, that's what we do. We stereotype food from the region it's from. Just, it wasn't that offensive to me. My problem is with this movie is that everybody praises it for being one of the first, adult animated films to hit the theaters. And it's about food and shit. And the animation is not that great. To me, it looks kind of flat. The characters look straight out of some fucking, I don't know, they don't look right. They don't look good. They don't look appealing to my eyes. I wanted to look away because everything looks so goddamn shiny. Food does not look that shiny. People do not look that shiny. And people do not look like that. It just bothered the hell out of me. It's not the first of its kind. It's not, because there's a movie called Una Película de Huevos. And it's the same thing. It's about, not exactly the same thing, but it's about food, eggs, trying to make it out in the real world. And they do have a scene where they go to the store and they go to a person's house and they end up seeing the horrors of the reality of what happens to food. They end up seeing all of that, and the story is better to me. The art style is better to me. It's a Spanish movie, but I'm pretty sure you can find it with English subtitles. They tried to bring it here to America because there was a third movie that was a CGI, but I guess that didn't work out. But that wasn't about food. It was about them being chickens. Yeah. So yeah, that movie to me did it better. The humor was better for me. I laughed way more in that movie. And this movie is old. Okay, I watched this movie when I was probably 13 years old. So this was like 5 years ago. I don't know. I can't do math. So yeah, this movie was way better for me. The jokes were handled better in Spanish. I don't know how the English translation of some of the jokes would work out, but it was 1,000 times better, because I guess my standards were already kind of high, and then here comes along Sausage Party, $1 million budget, the PR for it off the roofs. Everybody knew about this damn movie. Here comes, and it's like right here at the bottom. And that the egg movie right here for me, because it's hilarious. I love it. So yeah, that's Sausage Party. The soundtrack, I can't even remember any of the soundtrack. The only thing I remember is when they went to the liquor aisle and there was like this freaking techno song that came out. And I'm like, hey, that sounds like a song they play in the Vine edits. So yeah, soundtrack, story, animation style, overall I give this movie like a 5 out of 10. It was entertainment, it was wild, it was out there. Yes, I guess was pretty cool. And there's probably gonna be more movies like this, and hopefully better executed than Sausage Party was, because I understand people, it's first of its kind, people are gonna go wild for it and they're gonna love it. So yeah, just a 5 out of 10. Not that special. I wouldn't recommend going to the theaters and wasting $15. Just probably rent it out of a Redbox or your local Blockbuster. I don't give a fuck where you get it. But another fun fact is that there's a fandom for it. There's a Sausage Party fandom, and they're about as odd as you can think. People making their own food sonas. I don't know if there's any fan fiction. I have not stumbled across any of that yet, but I've seen some food sonas. There's some discourse there for sure. People being kin with the food. Fan art. Humanoid versions of the food. Especially that Twinkie fellow. He looks like that little fat fuck from Gravity Falls. I can't remember his name, but that's what it looks like, and it makes me laugh every time I see it, because that's basically what they draw. When they draw the human version of the Twinkie, they draw that guy from Gravity Falls, and it's just like a thinner version of it, and a gayer version, because God knows there's a lot of porn with that little Twinkie, because we all know why. We all know why. Sausage party, yay! So, leave some suggestions about what you want me to review. Just know that I'm not a professional in any way. Most of these criticism, these reviews are freaking biased as fuck. My opinion, and I don't claim to know much about the film industry, even though I want to pursue a career in the film industry. I don't know that much about it. So I say, but shit comes out of my mouth most of the time, so yeah. Peace.